Good morning. Welcome back to Dustinbed. Today I'm going to be talking about this big boy right here. Let me see. There we go. It is Luigi Serafini's book, the Codex Seraphinianus, I believe is the pronunciation. I'm trying to avoid saying Seraphinianus. I don't know. Anyway, so this is the 40th anniversary this year. The year I'm recording this is 2021, and this book was first published in 1981. So that's pretty interesting. And so is this book. That's basically what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about what this book is, what it means to me, I guess. I guess I'll start with how I first discovered it. It's probably been, probably back in high school. So probably like 5, 6 years. This is back when I used Facebook, actually. I don't use Facebook anymore. I hate Facebook. But I saw an article for like the most interesting book or like the most weird, surreal kind of book or whatever. And it was this guy. And it was basically showing off some of the illustrations, talking about how nobody could understand it, nobody could read it, which I'll get into in a little bit. But it kind of piqued my interest, so I made a request at my library to have it kind of shipped in, and I got it, and I started looking through it, and it was just really interesting, and it feels weird to call myself a creative, but I'm the type of person where I'm constantly looking for inspiration in stuff, and this is one of the most inspirational books that I've ever seen. Probably the most inspirational. I'll get into it here in a second. Also, I've still got the seal on it. I got it just a little, like probably a few days ago, and I haven't undone it yet because I wanted to do it with you guys. But yeah, I don't know. So that's basically my experience with it. I discovered it myself quite a while ago. I had a copy of it from the library because one thing about this book is that it retails for $135, if you can see that. And that's not... Oh, there we go. I wasn't... I couldn't afford that back then because I was in high school, I didn't work. I still can't afford it now, but it was on sale, so I got it while I could. And I'm really glad that I did because, like I said, this book has been a really big source of inspiration for me, and I'm sure countless others because of, as I'll get into with you. But so a bit of history with the book. Like I said, it was published in 1981. It was actually released in 2 volumes, I believe. And like I said, the author is Luigi Serafini. He's a Italian artist. I think he wears a lot of hats from what I heard. He's like an architect and probably I think he's an author maybe. Anyway, he wears a lot of hats. He does a lot of things, and so he published it then, and it's been published many different times, and it's always in these really elaborate kind of packaging. But yeah, one of the things that's so interesting about the book is that it presents itself in such a way that it feels like an encyclopedia for a world that doesn't exist, but it's very similar to ours. It's hard to explain, I guess. Maybe we should start looking at it. So one thing that I touched on earlier was that it is written in a language that we can't understand. It's a made-up language. From what I hear, there's not supposed to be a way to interpret it. I think people have tried, and maybe I'm not sure 100% exactly because that part of it doesn't really interest me that much. it's cool that it's written that way because it gives it some. It makes it feel different than if it was just a simple art book. But yeah, so here's the book without some of the glare. As you can see, there's the language on there. And like I said, this is a big book. It's, here's my face. It's about 3 faces wide. Oh, here's the back. But where did I leave off? I don't know. It's fascinating. There's so many different things that you can take from this book. Whether you're like a linguist and you want to see if there's meaning in the way that it's written. Oh wow, this is a really high quality book, by the way. I'm not sure if it's worth $135. I mean, I'm a very frugal kind of person, despite what my channel would suggest with everything that I review and everything. I don't buy expensive stuff a lot. I might buy some cheap stuff quite a bit. Nothing like this. This must be like the introduction page. Oh. Let me see. Oh. I don't want to show it off too much because I kind of want the viewers, anybody that kind of finds this video to seek it out. Like I said, you can, if you don't want to pay the money for it, which I don't blame you, you could order it from your local library. If they don't have it, you can get it from like other local libraries. Like we had a thing. I'm from Ohio. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but there was a program called Search Ohio, and you could actually have materials requested to your library from surrounding libraries. So that's how I discovered like so many different movies, books, early on music, because when I was younger we didn't have Spotify and stuff. So if you wanted to discover music, you had YouTube, of course, but I was the kind of guy that I had an iPod Classic, well I still do, but I don't use it, but an iPod Classic where I would just dump all this music onto, and sorry, I can't get over how high quality this book is. It's on like textured paper and everything. Anyway, I had the iPod and I would rip CDs and put them on my computer and then put them on my iPod because, I was a kid. I couldn't afford CDs and stuff. But anyway, back to the book. There's just a lot to unpack here. It's endlessly inspirational, in my opinion. Whatever field you work in, if you're a creative, I think that it touches on something that, excuse me, sorry. It touches on something that not really anything else has, because I read somewhere that the author had the idea of making a book that feels the way that a kid would look at a book, because they can't read the book. They're going purely off of like the design of the words rather than what they say. And the pictures, when you're younger, you don't really have this sense of what things are exactly. So you're more of a blank slate and you can kind of take stuff in a way that adults can't anymore, because, you've seen it all, basically. Once you hit a certain age, it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm still young, so I can't talk from experience. I'm sure there's lots that I think you know what I mean. But anyway, as a kid, the world is brand new, and you can kind of re-experience that with this book, I think, because it's showing so many different things related to a world that doesn't exist. So but it mirrors our world in such an interesting way. Let me find something that, sure, let's go with this. Here. Like, clearly that's like a cow. of some sort. It's like it looks like a cow, but it's not a cow. It's clearly not like a cow, but you know, I don't know. This book makes me feel things that I can't quite articulate, and I'm happy that 40 years passed, we still have it in circulation, which is incredibly important. There's so many books out there that have kind of like a small cult following that they're not, you can't buy them anymore. And if you do, it's on the secondhand market, and the prices are just ridiculous. I mean, you could argue the price is ridiculous for this, but there's just a lot here, and I keep coming back to this idea of like, if you are a creative person, if you're somebody that is into this kind of thing, I think it's kind of invaluable because, like, looking at this when I was younger, it got me into a lot of things that I wasn't super familiar with, like surrealism. I've always liked art, but I wasn't actively seeking it out until around this time in my life. And this kind of opened the doorway for a lot of things that I wasn't really, I wasn't seeking out. Like, if I hadn't found this book, I don't think that I would have watched like Eraserhead or something, or you know, or I wouldn't have like gotten into like Captain Beefheart, like Trout Mask Replica, or tried out Free Jazz. Like, there's so much stuff that's like out there, and this book feels like a documentation of a world that's out there, and I don't know. I don't want to end it here yet. Let me find some pictures that I really like. There's one in particular I'd like to show you. But, oh, another thing. So this book is kind of broken into different topics. So it's like they go into like, it's hard for me to kind of, because they don't tell you exactly what is going on, but it's kind of like, there's like a section for the culture, it feels like. There's a section for animals, plants, architecture, that kind of stuff. So it's like broken down like an encyclopedia or like an almanac. I'm not sure. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure exactly what an almanac is. I've never really. I'm not. I should do more research on these kinds of things. But let me see if I can find. Oh, here. This is pretty cool. Oh, here's a bunch of plants, like flowers from this world, I guess. Here's some fruit. It's like a banana, but it's got pills in it or something. There's a bloody orange down there. I don't know. There's a lot to unpack in this book. I feel like I've kind of touched on that already, but let me see. Okay, I need to see if I can find. Oh, what? Okay, well, in the back of the book, there's this it's D Codex. I don't know that my library copy had this. So, okay, so this is new to me. Sorry for kind of putting the video on halt for a split second. Is this all written in Italian and I can't read it? Oh, here we go. It's in English. So yeah, okay, so this is... Huh. It was written in... It's a little letter, I guess, from the author discussing what the book is about, kind of, or kind of where his mindset was. And it's in different languages, so that way, since this book is kind of... I never considered that. So this book doesn't need translated. into different languages for it to be like appreciated by other people. Like, I mean, it's in a language that nobody gets anyway, so this book is like extremely like import friendly. I never even thought about that. That's really cool. Uh, I don't know. I'm a slow reader, so I'm not going to try to read this right now and then tell you about it because that's going to be a bad time. But let me go back to finding some of those images. Huh. Get in there. I think that's in there. Oh, no. Okay, there we go. Ah. It's going to take me forever to find that picture, isn't it? Because I have no idea what section of the book it's in or anything. Well, I'll just show you some random stuff. Oh! Here's like some of the architecture stuff. I can't, hopefully you can see, but I can't see because this book is so big. But, oh. I just realized that the bottom of the pages are like page numbered. But like in the language, so it's not very helpful. I think this book is like almost 400 pages for anybody that's curious. So there is a lot of material in here to kind of delve into. Oh, this is another good image. This isn't the one I wanted to show you, but this is a famous one from the book. Like, these people are skinning a skeleton, like putting skin on it. Wild. Can I find that image, please? Oh. But yeah, there's just so much stuff in here. There's like different. I just found a section for the vehicles. There's like a bunch of different vehicles for this culture. Oh, I don't remember this. I can't show you that. There's a peepee in this book. This might have what I wanted to show you, though. It does! Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So this image is, like, very slightly graphic. Like, it has to do with sex. But, like, here. So, it's a couple... Oh, come on, focus on the book. Oh, it's a couple making love, and they turn into a fucking alligator. Or like a crocodile, I don't know the difference. Don't judge me, please. But like they turn into a crocodile or something. What the heck? Okay. I think I can end the video now. Hopefully I've piqued your interest on the book. Like I said, it's the 40th anniversary. I think that's awesome. I can't wait to just kind of take my time with the book and kind of tell, like, kind of figure out what I think about it now, you know? It's still, like infinitely, like, inspiring. Luigi Serafini is, like, I don't know how he did it. Like, I think of myself as a creative, but I have a lot of trouble with inspiration and creating something that doesn't feel like I've ripped something else off or something. Maybe if you're a struggling creative person or whatever, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I struggle with that a lot myself. So seeing something like this gives me hope that, like, I can do it myself, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get too, you know, I don't want to get too touchy-feely about myself right now, but hopefully you check out the book yourself, give it some time, kind of sit with it, and maybe it'll do something for you. Maybe you'll like it as much as I did, or even more, or something. I don't know. But yeah, happy birthday, Codex Seraphinianus. I'm proud of you. You're rad. I dig you. But yeah, that does it for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see stuff that I like. Basically, that's what this channel is. It's just stuff that I like. This is the first time I've talked about a book, so that's cool. But yeah, so subscribe if you want to see more of stuff. Like if you liked it. I appreciate that a lot. Comment if you have any experience with this book, or if you end up checking it out, let me know what you think. I'd love to have a discussion in the comments just about like what you guys think of the book, if you've heard of it, if you know any of that kind of stuff. I'd love to talk to people about the book because I find it so interesting. But yeah, I think that about does it. Good night.